Yeah, I don't want to go to jail for anything. I'm much too, weak.
And you're pretty. You are listening to the Stand Up Dads podcast.
This is hecka boring.
Yeah, it is.
Let's try again.
Responsible Mike sucks.
No, fearful Mike. I'm not going to tell it. That's my mom's story. She could fucking kill me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, you're listening to Stand Up. No, I'm kidding.
It's it's pandemic, Thanksgiving week.
Well, there's days where
you're like, hello.
Starting this is just the hardest. Hey, you're listening to Stand Up Dads. This is Rob.
And Mike.
And today we are recording episode 99. It's kind of a potpourri episode, but the main focus of this one is 15 things you should give up to be a happy parent. Before we get there, I found a story that just made my blood run cold.
Okay.
Mom gets pregnant after nurse mixes up flu vaccine and birth control shot.
Oh, oh my God, that's because you're going to end up with another kid.
Dude, so this started back in 2011.
Yeah. Oh my God.
In Seattle, this woman went to the clinic to get her shot of, remember Depo-Provera, which I don't think is a thing anymore. I'm not sure.
The Depo shot?
Are they still?
They got rid
Depo?
of it?
I don't know.
I thought they were.
Yeah. Anyway, so she went in to get a Depo shot, and they gave her a flu shot on accident.
Oh my God.
And 3 months later, she went in to get her another Depo shot. And I guess part of the standard is to do a pregnancy test to make sure, because I guess the stuff can really fuck up your kid.
Yeah.
And she found out she was pregnant. And she was not, obviously did not want to be, because she had other kids.
You're like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah. So she had a kid because it wasn't her thing to have an abortion.
And how would they find out that it was a flu shot she got?
Because they looked on the paperwork and saw she was charged for a flu shot. So I don't know if they charged her and
the
she
paperwork
like,
did it.
This was cheaper, or if it just went through insurance. I have no idea.
Wow.
It doesn't say. Yeah, so they linked it to human error, which happens. I mean, it's scary to think how much human error there is in medicine every day.
I know.
So apparently, unfortunately, this is the sad part of the story. The kid, who is now 8 years old, had some really bad birth defects.
But how? Because from the flu shot? Because they didn't actually get a Depo.
No, because some people just have birth defects when they're
born. Okay. All right.
So,
I thought it was tied to it.
No, and I don't know. I guess the kid has seizures a lot and just having a rough time. And it's drained the family because they can't afford to do all that stuff. So way back then, they started the lawsuit, and apparently it just got passed. This is
9 years, huh?
Yeah. And the judge ordered the clinic to pay $10 million.
Wow, that's a pretty messed up.
$7.5 million awarded directly to the child in order to pay for the extraordinary medical, educational, and similar expenses that she's going to need for the rest of her life, which is awesome.
Wow, yeah.
They gave $1.5 million to the mom and $1 million to the dad for mental anguish and emotional stress.
Wow.
And they also added another 40-something grand to pay off medical liens.
Wow, they had medical liens from everything.
Yep, exactly. So
wow.
I'm just thinking, because Kim and I are not planning on having other kids.
Yeah.
And if something like that happened, be like, oh, dude, what do we, I don't know. I mean, we're both damn near 50.
Yeah, it becomes dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous for
the
her.
Baby and for her.
And for me, because I'll run. Not really.
You'll be like, yeah, I'm out of here. No.
No, I would never do that. Wouldn't say I wouldn't think about it, but I don't know. I would feel horrible, especially if I was the nurse that did that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It's a nice happy ending to that story. I mean, it's not an ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad the kid's going to be taken care of because that
happy-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy as it can be with him having all those problems still.
Exactly.
Makes you want to ask them to double check it though.
Show me the shot.
Every time they come from now on when your kids are getting a shot, can you make sure that's exactly
show me the shot.
I would have never even sat and really thought about that,
How do you mix those up?
Mm-hmm. Maybe they should put food coloring or something into these things so you know. So you know, like, oh, wait a minute. That's not the blue one.
Just make the depot black. Just
Yeah. That's not the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want those colors and stuff. I don't know. So I was looking around and I found a short parenting style quiz. You up to taking it?
Yes.
I want to see how you and I go on this.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to lie to make myself sound better.
Yeah. This is on Psych Central. I will post a link so you also can take.
Is it one that's going to be at the end, you're a bad parent?
No, not at all. I already took it and I'll share my results too.
Or it's one of those ones like at the fairgrounds that are like the love tester, where it'll be like,
No.
Your style is all right.
So I am a 48-year-old female, male, non-binary. What are you feeling today?
What is non-binary?
They don't conform to male or female. Actually, I was looking on Chartable, and actually half of our listeners are non-binary. So
Really? Wow.
I guess that just means we have no listeners. But
I don't know what.
to
Yeah, I
those
did
of you
not know
out
that.
there, we love that you're here. So
I just didn't know what that was. All right.
yeah, so they just don't conform. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so question number 1. There's only 15 of these. We'll make it quick.
All right. Okay.
Parents should provide direction, but also listen and discuss their kids' concerns. And it goes from strongly disagree, neither agree or disagree, agree, and strongly agree.
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. I also put strongly agree. So far, we're on the same path.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, society would be better if parents were more strict with their kids. See, this is one of those with like
That's so.
knee-jerk.
Well, the problem with it is it doesn't qualify it enough. Like, what do you mean by strict? The strict, to some people, strict is like, are you talking like you're going to spank them or something? Or do you mean strict in terms of just giving them more direction?
I think it's more about permissiveness. They have to run everything by you, or do you let them do their own thing?
I'm going to take it meaning, you got to pay attention to what they're doing or something. So I'll say agree.
You and I did the same thing.
Yeah, it's a tough one because it's like some people are going to say strict and it's like, yeah, I don't let them do anything. Like, I don't let them think for themselves.
No one wants to be not no one, but I don't want to be the Nazi parent.
Yeah, I want them to think for themselves, but I also want to be like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I think age has a lot to do with it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a lot different if you have a 17-year-old and you're letting them make decisions for themselves.
Oh, I thought you meant the age of the parent too. Like, because if I was
I'm sure that's part
a
of
parent
it too.
at 20 years old, I'd be terrible at this quiz. Yeah.
Which kid is it? Is it your first and only kid, or is it your 6th kid?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, number 3,
Okay.
kids should make most of their decisions without parental direction.
Most of their decisions.
Most of their
I'm going to say disagree then. Okay. Most decisions? That's a tough one again. Like, it's like, what decisions? Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, there should not be rigid rules for kids' behavior. And so far, we're tracking the same. There shouldn't be rigid rules for kids' behavior.
There shouldn't be. I'm going to say disagree. Because, it's, it's another one too where you're like, well,
okay, it's
rigid.
freaking me out that we're still on the same path.
Okay.
Number 5, parents should provide direction and guidance in rational and objective ways.
Strongly agree, but I fail on that a lot.
Well, yeah, but this is a should. And again, who wouldn't say strongly agree to that?
Yeah. Because a lot of times it might come out like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said it that way. Still, don't do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I freaked out the other day. Owen's new habit is he's like, hey, Dad, look at this. I'm like, what? And he just punches himself in the crotch. And I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for that. I overreacted when I told him to stop.
So he punched himself.
He gave himself a Tinky Flex.
Oh, we have to say what the Tinky Flex is.
We talked about that in the past.
Years ago. But you're raising like a stooge. He's one of the stooges. He's going to come on. Whoop, 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 whoop,
or
whoop,
Jackass, I guess would be he's the new Steve-O.
Oh my God, he's Steve-O. Totally. Oh no.
Okay. let's get back to it because I
Okay.
don't even want to picture that. Number 6, children should be told exactly what to do and how to do it.
God, that's another one that's like, it depends on what you're telling them. I'm going to just err on the side of like you're teaching them how to do something the first time. So I'm just going to say agree.
Okay, we split on that. I said disagree.
Yeah. So to me, I'm taking it as like, it depends what it is. How
Sure.
to use the stove? Yes.
Well, yeah.
How to, I don't know, like how to take care of yourself, how to clean yourself.
Well,
There's
yeah.
a lot of stuff you got to tell them how to do it. Yeah. But that's what I mean. The first time. So that's the interpretation there.
I took it to be like, okay, go clean your room. I don't need to tell you exactly how to do it. You know, go take care of your laundry. I don't need to tell you exactly how to do it.
I look at it as, I think you were looking at it too, as like a continuing thing.
Yeah.
And my thing is, the first time, I need to show you this is where everything's going to go. And then from that point on, I'm going to leave you alone. Like if whatever order you want to do it in is whatever, but your stuff has to go where it's supposed to go.
I mean, granted, I'm not thrilled with the way these questions are asked, but
well, no, it's good that at least we're qualifying, where we're coming from. Because I think, yes, when you're the first time.
I think we're looking at it the same way, but I just wanted to score it different.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we have some differences here. Let's see. Kids can make up their own minds and do what they want to do.
Dang it. I like them making up their own minds when it's not something that's going to cause, trouble. So I'm going to say disagree just because I got to go with the idea of it being something bad.
Well, because, I was.
Or everything,
Because, if I was able to make up my own mind and do whatever I wanted to do, I probably would not be breathing right now.
Yeah, I'd have it in it's pretty much in parameters, like if you've done your work, then you can choose what you want to do in your playtime, like that type of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, number 8.
Yeah.
Kids need to learn early who the boss is in the family.
What's the middle one? What's the
Neither agree or disagree. And
I guess it's agree. I think it's agree.
Okay.
I mean, they gotta know, at least that you're not gonna bend on stuff, and I did bend on some early things that that if not for her mom, I would be when we're trying to make her go to bed, she kept waking up and screaming. There's stuff like that where you had to it was kind of break her will to make sure she didn't just keep fighting, going to sleep or fight.
Yeah.
So I would say yes.
Okay. I did disagree.
It depends how you take it, because the way they say boss makes it sound like
I know
scare them, but yeah.
Number 9, children should get their way as often as their parents do.
Strongly disagree. Because daddy gets his way all the time. No, I don't think they should get their way all the time.
No, as often as their parents do. So I chose regular
as
disagree.
Often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10, parents should discuss the reasons behind their policies with their kids.
I strongly agree with that one. Yeah.
I just did agree, mainly because they don't give a fuck. I mean, because every time I try to sit down. It depends on
the kid. Yeah, because it matters. She always, since she's little, wants to friggin', she needs to know why, and if not, it drives her nuts.
Because but with Owen, I'll spend 5 minutes telling him why he can't use the iPad right now, and then I'll go, okay, we good? Yeah, can I use the iPad now? Fuck, it just it's
a boy.
Yeah, oh shoot, the other day, he made lemonade with Crystal Light, and which is fine because he likes lemonade, and I'm not gonna make it. But then I looked at the glass, and I'm like, wow, that's awfully cloudy. And then I look over on the counter, and we have one of those diner sugar shaker things. It's empty. He had
oh my god!
I'm like, we gotta take this away. And I'm trying to explain it to him why he can't drink a cup of sugar with his lemonade.
Oh my god!
And he's like, okay, can I have it back now? I'm like, no, I have to dump this down the sink because you will die.
Yeah.
And then I was the bad guy. I'm happy to explain it, but the fact is he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I think it depends on the kid. Yeah, especially a boy. I remember, so it still happens now when my mom wants telling me something every now and then. I'm like, wait, what was that middle part? Because it's she's like, oh, Jesus.
I feel for
I
your
got the
mom.
beginning and the end, and well, maybe just the I didn't hear any of that. You know?
Squirrel. Okay, number 11. We're almost done. Children
All right.
should follow their parents' orders without asking questions.
You know what? I'm going to disagree on that, and that's mostly because and me and Melissa are different on this.
Yeah.
She wants no questions, and I don't mind questions as long as it stops after the questions. Like if it's like well, why I got it. Well, if I tell this is why, then I want it to stop. But I do want it. I want her to be able to ask questions and question things.
I would prefer that he does it and then talks to me about it after. There have been times where I do see him doing something dangerous and I go, Owen, stop and step over here. And why? It's like, you know what? If you're going to get hit by a car or fall off a ledge or whatever, I don't want any fucking questions. Just do what I say. And then we'll talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
But let's just do this right now. And then we'll be able to do whatever. And again, it's not happening all the time.
Yeah. When it's something like that, I could see it being more. But what I end up having is like, I don't mind only asking. But if she asks and keeps going, then it becomes kind of where I just go silent. Yeah. And then she'll be like, okay, Dad. And I'll be like, I go to Slow Talkers of America. And she's like, okay. Like I've entertained the question and I've told you why. Now
move on.
You need to just do it. Now I'm gonna flip out. Like, come on, knock it off.
Number 12. Parents should make their expectations of their children very clear and open to discussion.
Very clear and open to discussion?
Yes.
Well, I would agree with that. I want the expectations to be clear, and I strongly do. I agree. I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did strongly because I think part of making the expectations clear is having the discussion so they understand it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. 13. Some of these questions I'm like, how the fuck?
It's so hard because it is so open to interpretation, and the wording makes it a little iffy where you're like.
Sure. Parents should not restrict children's activities or decisions.
Oh, strongly disagree. Or else, like, if I didn't restrict anything, like if I was a kid, I'd go crazy, but Oli would already do a bunch of crazy stuff on her own,
Yep.
She'd be all over. Yeah, she'd be all over the internet. She'd be like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I do not like the way it was written, worded. Number 14, children should conform to what parents know is right.
That is a weird one. I'm going to have to say agree just because you're trying to teach them what you think, You're doing your best and you're trying to teach them what you think is right. So, like, I'm open to discussion, but she's still going to have to go along with, like, saying, like the whole drive-in movie theater thing. I want to wait outside the bathroom for you. It's like, no, like, you don't understand,
Yep. And then the last question, kids should be encouraged to discuss family rules and restrictions.
Agree. One time. That's the thing you gotta put, because if you don't put a stop to it, we'll talk about it forever until she tries to find a way around it.
Sure.
Yeah, but I agree with that.
Oh wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I scored the quiz. Again, this quiz is on the show notes. You can click it and go into it.
And I got super parent, and you got
it does not choose that. Okay, so there's scores and there's like a bar. So there's three segments. Authoritarianism, how the parenting policy is determined, to what degree it is democratic, which means like kids are involved or authoritative because I said so. You scored an 18, which is about 3/4 of the way towards more authoritative.
Wow.
I was smack in the middle between democratic and authoritative. So right.
Wow. Interesting.
On flexibility, on the left is more laissez-faire. On the right is more specific, and they're defining flexibility, how strictly the policy is implemented once established. For example, we have a rule that you go to sleep at 8 p.m., but we can make an exception this time. So you were all the way to the right on more specific, and I was all the way to the left on more laissez-faire.
What?
And
That
I would
sounds
have thought
opposite of us.
exactly.
Wow.
So
That makes,
I'm the pushover.
which is not the way it plays out. I'm the one,
Yeah.
when you just use that example,
Mhm.
it's like I'm the one that bedtime's at 9 and I'm like screaming at midnight, like,
Sure.
get back in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then permissiveness, how permissive the policy typically is, how lenient it is in terms of freedom it provides the children. We were about the same place, leaning towards about, I'd say 70% towards more strict.
That is bizarre, man. Yeah, I would have thought I'd be more on the laissez-faire and democratic side, you know?
Yeah. And so it says about our parenting style, it says you are authoritative. You are the grown-up and you know what's best. It's not necessary to explain the logic behind your rules, but you're also very fair. Where I was balanced between authoritative and democratic. So pretty much the same stuff there, but I involved them. You and I both got the same for you are specific. We're concerned about setting specific expectations for the kids. You think that we should be actively involved in fostering our kids' growth, stuff like that. And then we got the same score for strict. No doubt about it. You are strict. Kids need to be told what to do and how to do it. That's the way we look at stuff. It's not that you enjoy punishing them, but you try to never be too harsh. Although this one note bugged me. Parents who answered like you indicate that sometimes spanking is an appropriate form of discipline. I do not agree with that.
I don't. And wow, man, it really sounds like I messed up my answers somehow, because I don't know if I can really honestly take the credit of being that strict. Like, I try, I think, but I don't think I succeed
No.
as well. You know what
Well,
I mean?
in theory, I think it's your parenting ideology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't
Because
know.
I definitely discuss stuff a lot more with Oli than
Then you
like we
listen.
have that discussion with Melissa where her whole thing is like it's disrespectful to talk back on stuff or to ask
Sure.
questions. But in my mind, I'm like, I want her to be, you know, to ask questions, to question things. As long as it stops.
Well-behaved women rarely make history. So keep doing what
Yeah.
you're doing. Be a wood chipper. Be a pain in the ass because it's
Oh my
going to
God,
serve
yeah.
you well.
Yeah.
She's got a good start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I worry about a lot of kids. I think your kid's going to be just fine.
Cool.
I worry about the people that she's going to fuck over. But
Yeah, we were listening to the Rolling Stones Under My Thumb, and she likes to know what the words mean. So I'm like, all right, so this one's about, you know, him
being someone's
you know,
bitch.
Yeah, basically, dated this girl. Now she's kind of does whatever he says, and she's like, "What? That's awful." I'm like, "Well, you're probably gonna have somebody under your thumb.
Yeah.
You'll be singing the boy that you." I go, although I don't think he'll ever have pushed you around. So she's like, "Yes, I will." You know,
It's rough for women out there, and I've seen women that have had a lot of challenges and they don't stand up to them, and I feel horrible for them.
yeah,
And I've seen the ones that I'm kind of afraid of that can stand up for themselves, but I'm glad that they're there because I know, you know, I
Yeah.
respect them and I know that they're going to be okay. Even at,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I have a cousin that had a shirt that said something, I think, therefore I'm single.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Shit like that. So it's like, you know what? Don't ever give up who you are. But
yeah.
okay, so excuse me. That damn tickle's back. So if I die of COVID, it started here.
That would suck.
So if I were to just drop dead, would you go out and put a message out saying this is the stand-up dad? They're the last
my
dad
God.
standing or something?
Oh my God. No,
Thank you for
I'd
being
have
with
to.
us.
I'd have to replace you like a bad TV show, like
Okay, that's fine.
no. And everyone would be like, I don't like the new stand-up dads.
Or they
I
might
like
like it
the
even better.
old stand-up dads."
Yeah. Oh, God.
No, it doesn't work without you.
Am I Dick Sargent or wait? Which one was the first one? The husband from Bewitched.
I don't. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I can't
Yeah,
remember the other guy.
yeah.
Anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Nah.
Especially not before our 100th episode. So we are approaching the end of the year, a year I cannot wait to get over with sooner than, you know. And, you know, we always talk about resolutions and all that stuff and things to give up. And I found an article entitled 15 Things You Should Give Up to Be a Happy Parent. And
Oh, hopes and dreams, 1 and 2.
that's one of them.
And no.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
No, that's not
Indirectly,
true.
it kind of does.
Yeah. You
And
have to.
As I'm reading this, there's a lot of these that go, yeah, I need to do that. And there's some of these that go, nope, this is Mike. Well, like number 1, give up and quote, supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you a good dad because you try harder, whereas I've already given up. But if you're trying to kill yourself because it's what you're supposed to do, knock it off because it's not going to work.
Yeah, don't focus. I've been trying to actively work on that. Most of the time I focus on the thing I didn't get done instead of the things we did do or things that went right.
Yeah. And I think number 2, I think COVID kind of wiped this one out for a little while. Give up keeping score, where you keep, comparing yourself to other parents.
Oh yeah. And you're right. COVID leveled the playing field.
You never see the other parents and you're not, I think it's just kind of Mad Max world out there right now. You're just happy that the kid isn't.
And not everything's not open. So you're not like, oh my God, they're traveling the world or they're doing all these extra classes. They're learning Latin, Yeah, now we're all stuck.
Yeah. And I think this one is actually harder because of COVID. Give up force. Trying to force your kid to do what, to go in the boundaries that you have, just trying to force them to comply, which I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
And they say, ask yourself, why are you trying to get them to do this? And then.
See, the hard thing with that is like, what'll happen to me is I will be like kind of laid back, like, come on, you got to get in the shower. Come on, it's shower, come on, you got to, and then it becomes, get in the shower now, why you got to be so mean, and like,
yep. I wasn't mean 80 times ago, but yeah, but they say, think of yourself as your child's trusted and effective guide, not their dictator.
Yeah.
But there are times where it's like, well, fuck, what do I have to do?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You basically, sometimes you end up having to go like, if not, Oli would never go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, and just getting stuff done, like we're doing a socially distant Thanksgiving at our place this Thursday, which will have passed by the time this episode comes out. But, we're going to do it outside. Everyone's going to have their own table, but we still have to clean the house because it's gross. And we're trying to get him to help out. Oh my God. I think the cat is more useful at this point, but, and that brings us to number 4, give up yelling. Holy shit. There's been a lot of yelling this week. And obviously we did an episode on yelling maybe last year.
Yeah.
For like 2 weeks, I didn't yell at the kid at all. And it was great. I mean, he really was a better kid and I felt better. I don't know what happened, but I can't do it again.
You want it?
I've tried. I cannot do it again. I have tried to not yell. We will see. Again, number 5, I think this is one that got eliminated by COVID. Give up your need to look perfect because, a good day is, and you have to get out of your pajamas before you start school, shit like that. And on the weekends, you're like, okay, it's 4 p.m. You have to get out of your pajamas.
Yeah.
And then number 6 is a tough one, especially in time of COVID. Give up worry.
Oh my God.
Worrying doesn't make your kid any safer, but God damn it, try not to.
I can't stop worrying. And I worry not about existing things, but every possible bad thing that could ever happen. I'm always like,
well, here's the thing. It teaches your children to live in fear. So even though you're doing it out of a place of love, you're fucking them up. So knock it off.
Yeah.
Because my wife is terrified of snakes.
Yeah.
And my kid didn't used to be, but now he is.
Okay. Yeah.
And I used to keep snakes. So it's like, hey, they're not bad. It's okay.
Though I do try to not pass on stuff like that because I just don't tell Oli that. So like when I got her to swim, like I didn't swim till college. I was terrified as a kid. They couldn't teach me. Her skiing, all that stuff. I never told her that till after she could do it. Like, I couldn't do it because I was terrified. You could not get me to go down that hill. I'm like, I'm going to die.
Yeah, we're not saying telling you to not be afraid. It's just don't pass that shit on.
No, I don't tell her what. I let her figure out if it's something she can do. Yeah. Because even the hoverboard that she rides around the house.
I still can't believe you guys got her that.
I can't get on it. Yeah. No, she's amazing on it. It's ridiculous, dude. As if it's so second nature. It's like it's plugged into her brain.
Yeah.
It's insane. She can do everything on that hoverboard, walk around. She has like a plate. I'm like, don't. Why even say it? She's not gonna drop it. She's not.
Maybe she could start. Remember, like when restaurants, when we had restaurants, they used to have the girls on roller skates bring out your food.
Oh my
Maybe
God, she
do it
could
with a
totally
hoverboard.
do it. She could absolutely do it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Non sequitur. But I remember my buddy Bill and I went to San Diego and we went to a Hooters.
Yeah.
And this is over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the waitresses had roller skates.
What the heck?
Inside
wow.
of, yeah. So I was like,
Wow.
that deserves an extra tip.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not saying for your daughter to work in Hooters, but I'm just picturing a restaurant where the waitresses and waiters are coming out on hoverboards. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Very 2020.
Yeah.
Let's see. Give up one size fits all rules. This is if you have more than one kid. You know, thankfully that's one we don't have to deal with. But yeah, because sometimes it doesn't work for others. Could be an age difference. Could be a gender difference. Could just be, you know, and granted, don't make it the gender difference of, my son can go out until midnight and my daughter has to be back by 8.
Yeah.
Just because of their gender. But
yeah.
Number 8, give up the food fight. And granted, I am happier when I'm not trying to fight my kid on what he eats.
I totally gave that up. What I do now is like Melissa can get her to eat whatever, but I think she's more afraid of Melissa than me. So I can't get her to have like certain vegetables, certain salads. So I just aim towards like, you know, she'll eat fruit, she'll eat berries. So instead of a salad, a lot of times she'll have like, you know, here's raspberries, blueberries, and some grapes along with your, you know, your rice and steak or whatnot.
Hey.
Yeah, I just found like, what will you eat? Because I'm tired of making it and you're not eating it, and then we're fighting about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
So this next one, number 9, this one got better and worse because of COVID. Give up your role as events coordinator because you're not taking them to swimming or soccer or gymnastics, but you still have to find them shit to do while you're at home. It sucks. You know, they always talk about it's okay for your kids to be bored, which I totally agree with.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like the past 2 days, Kim and I have not stopped cleaning up the house, and the kid is bored out of his mind. And
oh my God. And yeah, and you would think that it sucks because I know with like Olivia, when she's with her mom, she does so much more. So you know, I think it's a tough one because like it's hard to say how to get them motivated, because I always think, you know, all right, let's try to make it fun, and that doesn't work. It seems like the only way that really gets her to clean is fear, or you have to do it, you know.
This isn't even about cleaning though. This is just about having stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, I guess I still try to find stuff, but what I'll try to do is now, early on, I think because she was so sad, I had let her, you know, hook up with all the Facebook Messenger, kid messenger stuff so they could play games. But now it's to cut that back. So it's not all the time. Like I'll just bring out, you know, I have a tarp and a easel. I'm like, hey, you're here, sit and paint, you know, sit and do some art.
Which is actually their recommendation for this one. Make resources available and then let your children create the experience they want.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, totally. Go do something, but it's always some big fight, like, but I want to, and then she'll sit and be happy that she did it. But yeah.
Okay. Number 10, give up unhealthy self-sacrifice because no one likes a fucking martyr. And when you do that, you know, if you're ignoring your own basic stuff, you're teaching their kids that they shouldn't take care of themselves when they're older. Dang
it. Well, she doesn't see it a lot, but I totally do that when she's not here sometimes.
I've heard it. And then along the lines of this, give up guilt because, you know, there are times where I am paralyzed because I feel like I've just failed in every fucking way for this kid.
Yes, you've damaged them like that. Yeah, I'll feel like, oh, this is the one that's going to go to therapy.
Yeah, you know, they just remind you, you are enough just as you are. Because as long as you're giving them all you got, that's all you can do. And if you're not, then snap out of it and fucking contribute, you dick. Number 12, we almost done.
Asshole. Yeah.
Seriously. Give up one-sided decisions. This kind of goes along with the quiz. Involve them because, you know, it's like when I think back about work projects that I've worked on, ones I put most of my effort into are the ones where I had something to do with deciding what we're doing.
Yeah.
If someone tells you, here, do this, fine, I'll do it, whatever. But
Yeah.
if it's like, hey, let's create this thing, or, what are we going to do to make this work? I'm throwing everything I got into it,
Yeah.
as opposed to just following instructions.
I still feel like we got to give some parameters because it'll be like,
Yeah.
let's make a choice. Like, let's
That's the
watch a
discussion,
show
though.
together.
Yeah.
But I'll have to sometimes be like, it has to be a movie, and it has to be before it's like, oh, so we're going to be watching the same episode she's watched 10 times of some
Sure.
old Disney show she likes, which is like, come on, not again,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to give them like, let's choose, but from this area.
Yeah. Although I'm sure there's some dads listening going, let's watch Star Wars for the 814th time.
See, and I don't do that to her. Sometimes I'll say like, come on, give it a chance. So Princess Bride was a winner with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But other movies I've had to just give up when we start to watch it, and I'm like,
Sure.
all right, and she'll just be like, I don't want to see this. I won't make her, even though there's certain ones I would really like her to enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't make her do it. But I will say, like, give it a chance. When it does work, then it's great. Like, that
Sure.
one was great. She really liked that one.
Let's see. Number 13, give up negative messages.
Like,
So-
what? What's the specifics?
One's just a lot of like, you're too loud, you're too quiet, you ask too many questions, you're too demanding,
Oh, yeah.
you should make more friends. you
Yeah.
know.
Stop being an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the stuff you gotta watch. Yeah.
So comment on the same exact behavior in a positive way. So instead of telling someone they talk to, well, this one sounds, see, their examples suck.
What is it?
You can see the trait of you're too talkative as you really make friends easily. But
What?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that doesn't sound like a one.
But I'm thinking like, like if a kid's being too loud, it's like, people like you a lot more when you're quieter or something like that. I don't know. Instead of just,
Oh yeah, like this is why you don't have any friends.
no. Although you could say you could make a lot more friends if you were to do this.
If you weren't such a big mouth.
No, you drop that part.
Hey, loudmouth, knock it off.
Yeah, that's usually what
We're
ends up
a house
happening.
of loudmouths, though.
Yeah.
So that's our.
This one's interesting. Give
Mhm.
up your own childhood story. Pretty much
Mhm.
when you're trying to, like, say you were teased at school or,
Yeah.
you didn't have money growing up or something like that.
Yeah.
And it goes on with passing on your fears.
Yeah.
They may not get teased at school, or if they do, they may be able to handle it just fine. Like if someone would give shit to your daughter, man, I feel bad for that kid because
That's the one thing
crying.
That's the one thing I did pass on to her. But the other stuff I made where she does not have the same like fears,
Good.
that I had, or
And this goes to the dads that thought they were going to make it go pro with sports. Don't force your kids into that shit.
Yeah, that's been a tough one where it's like, I feel like that's the should stuff, trying to
Mhm.
give up the should, because I always read things where it's like, the confidence and all the great benefits of having, especially a girl, in some sort of sport.
Yep.
And right now, she's like, I don't want any of that. I want to sing and I want to do my stuff. So I'll focus her to making her movies and stuff and making her, her singing.
But that's an extracurricular that she is working on. So that's why it's okay. It's not, I don't want to do that. I just want to play video games. No, that needs to,
Yeah. When she's creating things, then like case in point, her friend, birthday is just coming up this weekend. That was a big deal because we're going to let her do her first sleepover. And that was like, oh my God, this is so stressful to be like, oh, we're going to let her. But it's at our really good friend's house. We've kind of talked for years that when they did it, it would be. So Oli's already given me ground rules because Matt, Matt who came on here before. He, normally I hang out there till like midnight when we're done on Friday. And I'll be playing games with him. So she's already told me, like,
you can't stay.
You need to leave at least by 10 or it doesn't count. Because then it's not really, I'm like, all right. So I got to leave. I may surprise her and leave more like 8. So she can be like, ooh, I really am a big girl, So for her present, for Lily, she went through, she's like, I need all the old photos and videos of us from when we're like, because she's known us since she was friggin' 5, I think, maybe 4.5. And I'm like, I can't do it. So I just set her up on the computer. She went through all the old photos and instead I was like, oh, tell me, I'll help you download. She's like, no. She just sat and she'd use her iPad. She took pictures or she would video.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So she sat there. She did this for like 2 days, put it all together in iMovie, wrote a song about their friendship, and sang to it and made this video. I was just like, oh my God, that's so. And I told her, I'm like, she was like, do you like it? I go, she's gonna love it, and I'm gonna have to go yell at Nino Robert because he's never made me anything so thoughtful. Like
nothing I was brave enough to show you.
Where's my beautiful little movie and song?
Okay.
But no, I was like, wow, man. And to me, that's awesome. If you're gonna, that's not being.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome.
Technology, if she's actually like, she was editing, she was downloading apps to figure out like putting music in and, so that was cool.
Creating something from nothing. And that is,
yeah.
Like, I'm sure Spielberg wasn't out there playing football or basketball or all that shit. He was being a nerd hiding out in his thing, writing scripts and probably doing some funky video things, or probably really real his age. But
I'm trying to get her into, because she's got the little computer that used to be mine. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to transition her to After Effects and Premiere so that, she starts at 10. She's already loving iMovie. I want to show her, like, let's use this. And the thing she wants for Christmas, I got to go look up a little setup. She wants a green screen.
Okay.
So she can film more effects.
That's awesome.
But to me, that's like, if she learns that stuff, it's like, well, now you're learning a freaking skill.
And with that, she's getting confidence. I mean, it's just as good as any athlete or anything because she's a master of her own thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think it's totally on the right track. Okay, the last one. Give up on giving up. I know there's times where it's like, man, I fucked up so bad. This kid's screwed. I'm just done.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, think back to your own parents. If they made any effort, granted, probably not so much when you were in high school, but even then, it still went a long way. You may not have openly, outwardly accepted it, but you appreciate it. So don't give up.
Oh, my mom was on top of everything. Yeah, she knew. She would catch me on stuff to make sure I didn't. Like, I would have gotten in way more trouble if my mom was always like, wait, what? She just, I don't know. She had a sixth sense on certain stuff where she stopped me from going to certain parties where she just rooted out that's what was, is that what's going on,
That's the advantage of being the third kid. She probably learned from the others. Well, as you're trying to give these things up, do not give up Seattle Gummy Company mocha shots.
Oh, that was nice.
Because, especially I think I actually need to order some more. It's just been pulling me through because I'm like feeling a little like when you hit that wall, it's like, okay, I need just a couple more hours of this and just pop a couple and I'm back in it. And I don't get that jittery feeling like I get when I have a shitload of coffee. We've said it before. It's it's the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee per gummy. Works 5 times as fast. It's half the price of what you would pay for coffee in one of those fancy coffee shops. It's vegan. It's got vitamin B in there, and they're effective. And Mike loves the way they taste.
They're delicious, man.
Click the link in the show notes and enter the code StandUpDads15. You will get 15% off your order. And hey, if you're on the site, when you click our link and you see there is another promotion going on, like 20% off, you can combine them. You can add up to 2 promo codes and save even more money. More caffeine for less money.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle Gummy Company, Stand Up Dad tested and approved. Get shit done. This brings us to the bad dad. This week it's going to be a bad mom. Mainly because bad dads haven't been doing, of course they're out there and they're doing stuff, but nothing fun.
They're not in the news. Yeah.
Well, they are, but it's all like murders and rapes and horrible things.
The stuff I don't want to hear to ruin everything.
And I don't even want to hear them.
Yeah.
So I got a simple one. This is like from a police blotter.
Mm-hmm.
Mom accused of leaving kids alone in cold car while she shopped at Long Island Mall. And this is from November 19th. So let's see. In Long Island, it was 37 degrees. Yeah, the mom went into the mall for 30 minutes. Why are you going to the mall in the middle of fucking pandemic? But it was 6 o'clock Wednesday when someone saw the two kids, 3 and 9, inside of a parked 2008 Nissan Pathfinder. It said it was 37 degrees outside and the car was not running.
Oh my God.
So the mom, who was only 27, was charged with child endangerment.
Wait, and how old were the kids again?
3 and 9.
Yeah, no. Yeah, regardless, even without it being cold, leaving your kids out there right there is endangerment to me nowadays.
But here's the thing. Well,
what are they supposed to
before
do?
I go further, the kids appeared to be fine and they were given to a family friend. CPS was notified. But how many times when we were kids were we left in the car when parents went in to do shit?
Well, I don't think my mom left me, but when they were younger, I know when my mom was 19 when she had my sister and stuff. I know it was different then, but I don't know if she ever left me alone in the car. But stuff like riding in the back of a truck without totally. or I was always in the back of the hatchback. It would just be like they'd pop the back and get in, and I'd be like stuck in that little back freaking compartment like the tail gunner.
Totally.
Yeah. Hella hot back there.
Well, my cousin Michelle, who sadly is no longer with us, when she was younger, she was a single mom. She would take classes to be a nurse. And if I recall, she would bring her son, who was really young, and leave him in the car while she was in class because she had no one else to take care of him. Yeah. And this is like early 70s, maybe late 60s. So, but still, even then, she knew this is fucked, but I got to do what I got to do. And thankfully, everyone came out okay.
Did we though, Robert?
Doug's a good guy. And she became a nurse, and she actually went on, got bored with that, and became a lawyer. So I totally have all the respect in the world for her. So
wow,
for a teen mom, single, to do all that. So
well, that adds to my should list.
No,
I've had all this time off. I should have been a lawyer by now.
Yeah, don't remind me. And then
I was gonna say, to qualify it though, in the 70s, you could also drive around with your beer in the car.
This is true. Have you been drinking and driving? Well, yeah.
Of course I have been. Yeah.
Okay. Drive safely, okay? Okay.
Yeah, you got to put that beer down while you're driving. You need both hands on the wheel. Well, at the stoplight, you can drink it, but if you're if you're driving with it, I'm going to give you a ticket.
Well, everyone that's around nowadays, drug driving's always been a bad thing, but we were like in 7th or 8th grade when Mothers Against Drunk Driving became a thing.
Totally.
So we remember the times before that.
Yeah, it was not a thing. It was totally not a thing.
It was an inconvenience. Right. So
yeah, everybody was driving around drunk. Not everybody, but it was not a drunk driving thing was like
I don't know how many times my dad would come home plastered and watch his buddy that just dropped him off stagger to his car to drive home, to drive off. And it's fucking terrifying. I'm glad that DUI is a bad thing now, but that first one was so simple that I wanted to go for a more complicated one. Again, another mom. Florida mom accused of giving young son THC through vaping pen.
Oh my God. Yeah. What the hell?
She's a 22-year-old mom.
Oh, but when I was a kid, I was given beer to go to sleep.
That's a lot different than
but vape. Nowadays, but I guess that's the beer of the 2020 young parents.
But she's 22. She's in jail for one count of child neglect.
Yeah. And
it doesn't say how old the kid is, but the dad of the boy said he's seen her force the boy to smoke marijuana on several occasions to help him eat and sleep better. Now, that said, so growing up, my kid, and we're talking months old, had a lot of eating disorders and had to go on a feeding tube and all this stuff. And they were talking about installing a G-tube where you actually implant the thing.
I remember that, yeah.
I would have given him pot if it would have made him eat.
And avoid some of that,
Yeah, because it was awful. I mean, I remember he would pull the tube out and I would have to put it back in because Kim wouldn't do it. And I remember his face. And actually, for like months after he got off the tube, if you put your hand near his face, he would flinch because he thought you were shoving a tube down his nose.
Dang it. Well, do they not? Is that not an option, like for a doctor to prescribe, like
It wasn't
edible? Wow. Yeah,
You're not going to give an edible to a fucking 2-month-old.
Well, I'm sure they got one that's not like an adult size, like something so it can make you eat.
The thing is, he wouldn't eat it. That's the thing. You couldn't get him to eat an edible because he wouldn't eat the fucking thing.
Wow.
And also,
so maybe you got to get him stoned like a cat. You just got to blow it in his face.
Yeah, like a doctor's going to prescribe that. Shotgun this into your kid's face. Yeah. So, and the boys.
You're gonna hotbox him.
Oh, dude, that would be so wrong.
Put those towels on the door.
So bad. Anyway, back to this one. The boy's dad told deputies, and now I wonder though, is he just saying this shit to throw her under the bus?
No.
But he did say that the boy seemed slow and lethargic the last time he saw him.
Oh yeah, that could be if they're not together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently she was saying that he accidentally took the vape pen and consumed it. They also said the boy is not up to date on his immunizations, and she canceled several of his doctor appointments because she was afraid the doctor would discover he had THC in his system.
Oh, yeah,
so she admitted to smoking pot at home, but not in front of her son. The fact that it's in his system.
So can people get in trouble for being behind on their vaccinations when there's those anti-vaxxer people that don't want to vaccinate?
Only if you want to get into a school.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like the search between bad dad and bad mom. Holy shit, the moms are way more creative with the fucked up shit they do.
That's because they have them more.
I think
they got more opportunities.
This is true. I mean, maybe to snap.
Too many deadbeat dads. So the moms have them most of the time,
Yeah. So dad, step up your game. If you're going to be a dick dad, be funny about it. So we can talk about it here on the Stand Up Dads. Email us. Tell us what you think. Rate us. Review us. Jesus Christ, my head is not working. Subscribe, rate us, review us. It helps us grow. And if you wanted to hire someone to draw a little kid getting thrown in the back of a hatchback so they could get on a family trip, who would they write to?
You could write to me, Pencil for Hire. That's pencil, F-O-R, hire.com, or Pencil for Hire on Instagram. On the Instagram.
The Instagram. Something about being old makes you put the in front of stuff.
I love putting the in front of this stuff.
The Walmart.
I will write you on the Facebook. And I also want to say unfriend you to people. Like,
okay.
In real life instead of just on there.
Okay. In addition to the links for the quiz we took and all the other stories, there is a link there for Clumsy Love, Mike's personal compilation of 600 plus comic strips that is in there. They were wonderful. They are hilarious. Check them out. While you're doing that, click the link for Eye of Mongombo. That is written by Doug Gray. It's a graphic novel. It is hilarious. There's a pandemic going on. You got shit else to do. Get it. Seattle Gummy Company. Again, send us those parenting stories. We will send you samples. We're giving you free shit. Write to us, goddammit. Click the link in the show notes. Enter the code StandUpDads15. Get 15% off your order, and you can combine codes. So if there's another special going on, put that in there. Save some money. And finally, get my side project, Gag on This Podcast, that is run by Big Nick. We interview comics all over the country and have a wonderful time doing it. Just before we started this, we interviewed Saul Trujillo, which was a great time. I've seen him perform a couple of times. He is hilarious. It was a nice get, and he did not let us down. So check that out. Cool. Have a great week. Bye.
Thing I want to say is thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.